Welcome to the Shooting Show, brought to you this week from the NEC Birmingham at the 2020 British Shooting Show. This week we're going to deliver a show special.
This is a Shooting Show special, reporting from the British Shooting Show at the NEC. In its third year at the UK's premier exhibition venue, the show is bigger and better than ever. Having fought off Anti's campaigns to get it banned or moved, the show was back doing what it did best, celebrating the people and products that make shooting so valuable and enjoyable. This year, as well as roaming the aisles looking for the hottest news, we invited the great and good of the industry to chat to us on the Shooting Show sofa, in partnership with ATN. Here's the best of what we saw and heard. At the Great British Shooting Awards on the Saturday evening, 15 awards were given out to the very best the industry had to offer, covering every part of the industry from airguns to optics, centrefires to conservation heroes. The winners were Shooting Apparel of the Year, Deer Hunter Pro Gamekeeper Jacket; Rifle Ammunition of the Year, Ely Subsonic Hollow; Shotgun Ammunition of the Year, Game Bore Black Gold; Optics Product of the Year over £1,000, Night Force SHV ILL Scope; Optics Product of the Year under £1,000, Vortex Optics Diamond Black Tactical Scope; Night Vision Product of the Year, Pulsar Thermion XP50; Airgun of the Year, Air Arms S510; Rifle of the Year, Tikka T3X Cherrycoat; Shotgun of the Year, Browning 725 Pro Sport; Innovative Product of the Year, Ely Hawk Pro EcoWad; Gamekeeper of the Year, Jeff Garrett; Professional Stalker of the Year, Chris Dalton; Outstanding Contribution to Conservation, Sporting Rifle Magazine; Retailer of the Year, Sportsman Gun Centre. And to crown the evening, Duncan Thomas was given a Lifetime Achievement Award. We spoke to the winners to find out how they felt.
I'm really chuffed, and what a surprise. But to be frank, this is down to a massive effort from a big extended team. I'm very lucky. Somebody once said to me, you surround yourself in competence, and I really do have a very good, skillful, enthusiastic team. And the volunteers that support us as well are absolutely priceless.
We're really pleased. It's nice to see the hard work that our manufacturers do be put into fruition with some reward out the other end. So yeah, very happy.
Humbling, to be honest with you, with knowing how many good gamekeepers are out there. You know, to be nominated is one thing, and then to have the public vote for me, you know, is a great honour. So, you know, I'm really pleased, chuffed to bits with it.
We're proud of the team, and also proud of the products that we actually distribute. It's great to win it. We won it last year, and we won it this year as well. So we'd like to thank you for the awards. But from us, yeah, from the team, we're absolutely extremely proud of what they've done and delivered. And it is about the individuals. It's about every single member of the team, from the packing department who send out the parcels, to the guys on the phones, to the web guys, to the retailers, to all of them, to admin who process. So yeah, Gary and myself have to thank every single member of staff. And also thank you to our customers for voting for us as well.
Coming on here, representing Vortex Optics. Really pleased to have won the
you won the award, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
£100,000.
With the Diamondback Tactical I brought along here today. The great thing about this, I'm sure most people now know or have heard something about the Vortex warranty, in that it's absolutely lifetime and unconditional. So I've got some really cool stuff on the stand. We've got one from a house fire, one we've got where we've had a dog that's eaten a pair of binoculars coming there. So no, it's been great, but for this, it's just been such a privilege to have so many people come along and say it. It's great for it to be reflected in the awards.
Always great to win an award, particularly when it's voted for by your own peers in the industry. And obviously esteemed judges. So we're delighted, and it's a great selling product for us anyway, so I think it was a really good choice.
I was so pleased, have a great range, but especially, you know, with this limited edition product, it's really great that it has been recognised by the public, so thank you so much for that.
Sacco rifle won last year, Tikka this year, so GMK's trophy cabinet must be getting quite full by now.
Absolutely, yeah, no, we're really, really happy and love those two brands, so thank you for recognising that.
Are you going to come back and try and make it the hat trick?
Yeah, we've got some exciting things in the pipeline, so I am hopeful that the brands will deliver next year too.
You are up against some big brands in the popular vote, but you've won, so it's obviously just a really popular brand.
Yeah, it is. I mean, personally, I'm fiercely competitive, so to actually get one over on those guys is extremely great. But, you know, thanks to the team at Ely, all the people on the shop floor that actually manufacture the product, really the award is for them too.
All the shooters that have gone out into the field have been shooting their Pro Eco award with the steel load. They have just loved it. It's as effective as traditional lead load. It's just a matter of giving it a chance, and as soon as they will be doing it, they will be just loving it.
Gobsmacked actually, I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I was delighted to win last year, and I think, I don't know, it's particularly nice for me because you try and promote the sport, we try and promote, you know, getting people educated on social media, we try and get the right message out there, we're under attack from all quarters. So for me and the guys and the rest of the guys in the industry, we're all kind of singing off the same hymn sheet. So I just think it's nice to get recognised, and it's also nice to get recognised from the people that are obviously taking note of what you're doing. So I'm just absolutely delighted to have won this, and especially to have beaten Chilwell.
Twice as well.
Yeah, Paul's a good friend of mine, but I mean seriously, we're really good guys, and it's just nice.
It was the shooting public that voted very kindly that Sporting Rifles Save the Rhino initiative over the last few years, which has raised more than £100,000 for rhino conservation, was put forward, and actually, you know, we won the award, so I was quite surprised and humbled, really.
World domination, I like it.
Well done, Kate. Give us a cheer, come on.
Pulsar were the headline sponsors of the awards for the second year running, and they told us more about their plans for the coming year.
This is a product that we've just launched at the British Shooting Show this weekend. Looks very similar to the Thermin XP50, which won the product award last evening. This is called a new Pulsar Digex N450. So it's a digital rifle scope, built in fundamentally the same body shell as the Thermion, but it's digital night vision device. So what we've got is much more compact and traditional looking scope design, 30mm body, so ease of mounting compared with any older night vision devices or thermal devices is significantly improved. Quick startup, really high sensitivity. We've got detachable infrared illuminator, so user can choose whether they want to use the included one or use their own one. Dual power supply, so it's got an inbuilt battery into the main body of the housing, and actually the turrets act as the secondary power supplies. It's nice for us that we're selling and showing something that looks familiar to them, you know, and the honest truth is if our retailers had had them here, I'm sure they would have sold, you know, tons and tons of units.
Norma sponsored Professional Stalker of the Year award, and we grabbed a chat with Tim Hill of their UK distributor, ROAG.
It was a good event. It was nice to sit down and have a beer. We sponsored the Stalker of the Year, which Chris Dalton won, which I think was great. I think it's important to recognise people that are working in the industry and putting a lot of effort into the industry, not necessarily, you know, obviously, but behind the scenes and working hard. It was a great turnout. I think all the awards, there were some new awards as well, I think, that you put in this year. All worthy winners, and you know, it's nice to be able to get involved.
Basque, sponsors of Gamekeeper of the Year, told us they've already been busy in 2020.
I think we probably all agree it's been a pretty dramatic year for us. We're only in February. I think the biggest thing we've been dealing with is general licences, wild justice, and some of the nonsense that they've created. So dealing with that, dealing with government, dealing with members, and trying to make sure that as we move ahead into the rest of this year, we don't have a repeat of the chaos of last year around general licences and around some of the issues. Obviously, we've got the problems with releasing, that they'd like to make it a problem, so we've been doing a lot of work in the background with that. there's a vast amount of conservation work goes on to support shooting. We can't shoot without that conservation work. But it's about telling this. It's about telling the story of that, isn't it? And it's about, you know, using social media positively to tell those stories and to show the good work that goes on. I think there's this mystique about shooting that the general public don't understand. So let's be honest. We've got, if you look online and shooting across this whole line, we've got the antis at one end that we're never going to ever convince. We've got us at the other end, but there's this big chunk in the middle that if we can break this down and we can get the right stories to these people, which is what we try to do, then we've got a greater chance of making sure that shooting's still here in the format that we know and we love in 20, 30, 40, 50 years' time. And that's what it's all about. So there's a responsibility on all of us. It's about standards, use of social media, but when there's a good story to be told, it's making sure that we tell the right people.
Olympian Amber Hill was in attendance to launch the new look version of her Ely Amber cartridges.
Everything's going really well for me, and I'm super excited to be here with Ely Hawk, and today is very exciting because we have just rebranded the whole of the Amber by Ely cartridges. It's something that's taken us about probably like 6 to 8 months to do, so we have taken a lot of time to get everything perfect, but I'm so pleased with how everything's turned out, and with the run up to the Olympics later on this year, I just think by having the support of all my sponsors and being here with them today, I just think I'm really feeling confident going into the Olympic Games. I was honestly involved every step of the way with Ely, and that's exactly how we wanted it. We really wanted to I've really grown with the brand. I've been with them since I was about 11, 12 years old. So I felt that I wanted to show the change from when I was about 15, 16, launching these cartridges, to now being a professional shooter, going to the Olympics. And I really felt like people loved the cartridges, but they just kind of got a little bit old and needed a bit of a revamp. So every step of the way, from the colours to the actual images, it's just been an absolutely amazing experience, and I'm so glad to be part of the Ely Hawk team.
And back at the sofa, Ely Hawk's David Thompson said it's time for all shooters to look to the future.
When we were here last year, Ely were just getting the VOP, the Eco Wad, ready for the trade. So that's had a pretty much a full year now.
Absolutely.
So how's that been received?
So the 12 gauge has been received massively well right across the industry. We sold every scrap of it that we've produced this season. At one point in December we were out of stock for 2 weeks because there was so much demand for this product. It has been rocketing off the shelves. To be honest, it was a good problem to have, but we underestimated the amount of demand for this particular product. The product itself, obviously, as you may be aware, has got a biodegradable wad. That wad breaks down on land in 3 months, breaks down in water in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, we've got a nice example of it just here on our table.
And obviously we dropped that in literally only at 9 a.m. this morning, and it's now 11 a.m.
Yep.
And so within 2 hours that's breaking down that quickly. Obviously it breaks down even quicker in moving water, and so when it's broken down, it's actually, there's no toxic elements to it. It's toxin free, it's made of organic material and starch and a binding agent, and it just breaks down really quickly and safely. We see this as part of one of the steps for the future of shooting, and one of the steps that we're all taking to become better custodians of the environment and stronger conservationists as a result of that.
Next, we spoke to Swarovski's Peter Antoniou to get his view on the show.
It's always a busy show and always a fun show, talking to lots of people. So, we're here to show our product, to give people an opportunity to try the product. So it's a great vehicle to do that. And, we're here for 3 days. Friday was very busy. Saturday was exceptionally busy, which is great. That's what we want to see. And today's been nice and steady. So it just gives us, the team, an opportunity to talk about the product. Yeah. And with Swarovski we've got a fantastic range of optics. We've got the rifle scopes, we've got the binoculars, and we've also got the spotting scopes. But recently we've also taken on Carlis. The Carlis brand has been owned by Swarovski since the 70s actually. But over recent years we've had a distributor selling Carlis, but now it's come in-house. So we're now distributing Carlis as well. And Carlis gives us another option within the price point. So Carlis have a Helio range of rifle scopes aimed at the hunting market, but which are more sort of mid-price point. And they also have got a K line of rifle scopes that are more for the target shooters.
Ahead of another busy year of product launches, we had a chat with the hearing protection experts at SENS.
There is a few new products from SENS, yes. We've got the normal DX1s and DX5s, which were launched last year at the Game Fair, so they're going really well, thanks to the whole SENS range. What they've done as a new launch for the British Shooting Show 2020, we've got some additions to the metallic range. So it enhances the range even further, gives people more options. They can spend more time getting confused about which one they really want to get shoes on. We've got the normal range that we had before, so now we've got an extra 3 colours. We've got a metallic black, we've got a metallic white, and a very vibrant pink, which is going down really well with the ladies. Even some of the lads have had a couple of them. It just enhances the range even further, gives people more choice. It utilises the battery drawers themselves, really customise it to how they really want their own hearing protection to look and perform.
From custom plugs to clothes, we saw the latest from Harkeela and Sealand.
What we've chosen to bring are a couple of items from our clay shooting range that's coming out in March, so only a few weeks away. In fact, I was showing a member of the public this very jacket about half an hour ago when he bought it, and he's getting it sent in, so that's good. He wanted my sample, but he couldn't have it. So this is our new Skeet soft shell. The thing about clay shooting is it's not always a lovely day in the summer. Sometimes it's a bit cold and it's a bit grey, and you know, it's not so nice to be out. So you want something that's going to be a bit heavier. It's going to keep most of the weather off. If it's absolutely bucketing down, you go to the pub like everybody else. You don't go clay shooting. It's very difficult to show this on camera, but when you wear it, you're completely uninhibited in your shooting by wearing this jacket. It's a soft shell fabric, so it's not only water resistant, it's warm. So you've got a fleece lining to it, as you can feel. A big two-way zip. The zip is going to be a slightly different colour from this in actual production. And shoulder patches here. Again, these are going to be black in production. The jacket has a couple of large shooting pockets. I don't suppose you'd want to fill that pocket up with cartridges because you'd probably fall over. You could get a hell of a lot in there, but anything else you want to put in, clay shooters have a lot of kit that they like to bring around, take around with them, and this would be really good for it. And this is a really super ladies Skeet vest. This is on a pattern that we've made before that works really well. We know it lasts, it looks good. It's a new colour, which is this navy and with a purple trim and a light coloured mesh. And for in the summer, when it starts to get really warm, it's really good to shoot with the mesh. There was a time when mesh shooting vests, clay vests, were non-existent. You just couldn't find them, only in Italy and places like that. But now everybody wants them.
The Mossberg team had flown over from America to celebrate their new partnership with Viking Arms. We asked them about their plans for the brand.
Mossberg's known in the UK, but primarily for the shotguns. The response from the rifles for the last couple of days has been superb. It's a nice range, people like the quality, the product, and I think it will do extremely well once people get their hands on.
So I flew in from the US the day before the show, so we're very excited to be here. This is the first time Mossberg's been represented at any type of show in the UK, so this is a very exciting time for us.
So what has the British shooting public made of Mossberg guns today?
The feedback, like he said, has been that they didn't know we had rifles, the range that we have, or that when they actually got to touch and feel the rifles, if they knew we produced rifles, has been great. They're very excited about it. They want to test them, they want to try and feel them, so that's great. And the JM Pro, the 940, has been, like he said, the most touched gun, the most taken down, the most held for practical shotgun.
People are seeing the guns. We want to get these guns out with the dealers. We want to get the hands into shooters to get some reviews going and the follow-up for that. But all the dealers in the UK have got access to our range, and we can get guns to people to view. But it's all about getting that gun in a retail premises and the shooters will decide. The feedback we've got super. They're already wanting it already.
Over at the Blaser stand, the talk of the show was their new adjustable quad sticks.
They're the new Blaser carbon fiber shooting sticks, 985 grams light,
They're a quad stick system, so very stable. I've got my Blaser R8 Ultimate on here at the moment. And the big news really is, in the past you would always kind of need to move and kind of navigate your sticks about. But we've solved that with a handle that actually moves. So you can swing 30 meters at a 100 meter distance. And that really is the big news. You don't need to go off your aim if the animal moves. You just swing and you stay on the animal all the time. And then another really neat features for existing R8 users is you take that front fork out and there's a little adapter that goes in, and that is the same adapter that also goes into your bipod stud here at the front if you're one of the existing R8 carbon bipod users, and again, you've got your whole system complete. Retails for £243 and available at the show and any of our dealers.
It wasn't just about new products. Back on the sofa, we talked to the biggest names in the foxing world about what the future holds for this sport.
I've had a couple of foxing writers on the sofa already today, and I asked them about the future of foxing and is it bright, and they sort of said, don't really think it is. What's your take?
British Trust for Ornithology, they do a survey and they reckon that fox numbers in the country have dropped about 40%, but there's still an awful lot there. And whereas before loads of people had a few chickens in the back garden, if there was a fox about it didn't last very long. Now all the chickens, if there are chickens in the back garden, I've still quite a few, they're all having to be penned in because the next door neighbours are feeding the foxes.
I think shooting generally is not going to find it easy. Lead ban on shot, restrictions on this, that and the other, it's not going to get easier. I would probably say I've seen the best of it, which is no consolation to anybody coming into it now. I mean, it used to be totally free and easy. It was, you just went shooting, never thought anything about it, but you don't now.
Unfortunately, the negativity and the press and that jump on all the negative stuff, and it's kind of like we're not defended. You know what I mean? It's sort of we never get our side put in the papers or whatever.
Things were completely different to how they are now. You just can't imagine the difference. Now the technology is moving on at such a pace, you just can't imagine where it's going to be in a few years' time, whereas back then, cutting edge of technology was putting a heavy shot in your 12 bore.
It's getting quite difficult, and in my village, again, at one time, everybody would ask you, have you shot anything? You know, if you get a rabbit, can we have it? Now you get a lot of people who've moved in who are, I wouldn't say they're anti, but they disapprove quite clearly.
I do get a lot of antis comment on there, and I'll always try and answer that politely and basically just say exactly why we're doing it and the reasons we're doing it. And 9 times out of 10, those people will then change their initial attack to, well, okay, if you're doing that, then that's fair enough.
Shooting has changed out of all recognition, but hopefully it'll carry on. Somebody's got to control the foxes. When old Robert Bucknell and Mr. Ripley, who's getting on, somebody will carry on, but it certainly is not easy to get into. I think you just have to persist, but knowing, like most things in life, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
And finally, the owner of the British Shooting Show, John Allison, wrapped up the weekend.
And we've certainly got lots of fresh and new visitors that have come in. Today we've had 3 companies come in from Finland that are looking to take stands with us next year. 2 from America that are coming in. So yeah, it's a really nice atmosphere, and it's a really good place to be at the moment. People say, why a second show? It's not something that you want to enter into lightly. There's massive cost implications in it, not only from our organisation, but also from the likes of all the exhibitors and the manufacturers. But I think what was key, or if we now look at the British Shooting Show, and we are blessed to be recognised with the likes of the SHOT Shows of this world and the European international events, the British Shooting Show really does play a part. If we look at how many manufacturers have launched product here ahead of their European launches, This is very, very stable. So here we are now, we've launched product. What's the next move for a manufacturer? They go into manufacturing the product. So we're now going to a manufacturing process, and you and I as distributors, we've done pre-orders and we've made commitment to this. It leaves a bit of a void, because all of a sudden August and September comes up when you and I have taken product. We've then got to sort of encourage and coach the retailers to take it. The Manchester show gives them that opportunity. So the British Shooting and Countryman show is a true shopping extravaganza.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to ring that bell for more videos, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Plus, if you're not a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.